Well, hello, hello, hello. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am your life enhancement coach, and welcome to day 2 of the road to transformation. I am excited to be here with you as usual. I hope you enjoyed day 1 lesson, and we're not even gonna waste no time. We're just gonna go ahead and get straight up into this thing because today's topic is how to forgive when you don't want to. Now, everybody knows that the road to healing and manifestation goes right through forgiveness. We all know this. Everybody talks about it. I talk about it. The power of forgiveness, the importance of forgiveness. But let's just be real. Sometimes there are certain situations where you don't damn want to. You know what I'm saying? We choose to hold on to things. We choose to hold on to certain grudges. And there's a lot of reasons why. And so today we're going to talk about how to get on the other side of that for your own good, okay? So that you can release it for you, okay? So the first step, or the first, I guess it's a step, the first step in how to forgive when you don't want to is to identify why you don't want to, okay? And this is a very important step because you cannot heal something, you cannot work through something, you cannot move past something if you do not have a clear understanding of why it exists in your life. All right. Now, there's a lot of reasons. There could be a lot of different reasons why you're holding on to the things that you're holding on to, why you are choosing to not release whatever it is that you're holding on to. Your responsibility is to understand what that really is. I'm not talking about the surface level shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the real reason why you are struggling to let go of whatever it is that you're struggling to let go of. Now, this is going to require you to be vulnerable with yourself, and it's going to require you to be real and to be 100% honest, which some of us really struggle with, okay? This is about understanding what it is that you are holding on to, okay? Another way of looking at it is, what does letting go represent for you? So if I let this go, if I, forgive, if I release this, however you want to call it, it doesn't matter. If I choose to let this go, then that means this. Maybe that means that my experiences were not valid. Maybe in my head, that means that that person gets off the hook. They don't have to suffer consequences for what they did to me. It means that what happened to me wasn't significant or like it didn't matter. That means that nobody cares about what I went through. Nobody cares about what I experienced. You get what I'm saying? Maybe that means that people are going to forget. Maybe that means that what I feel is insignificant. Maybe these are the things that I'm telling myself as to why I'm holding on to this, why it is so important to me to hold on to whatever it is that I'm holding on to. You have to identify that for yourself. You have to understand what your why is. Why are you holding on to it? Because once you understand why you are holding on to it, then the next step is to give it a voice. Okay? You can give it a voice, give it an existence. We spend so much time, like when things happen to us, when situations and events and circumstances happen, or people happen to us, we take on so much responsibility for those things. We shoulder the responsibility of taking ownership of what happened, when the reality is that it's not ours to take. And so we take that on in the form of shame. We take that on in the form of guilt. We take that on in the form of embarrassment, self-loathing. We stop trusting ourselves. We stop trusting others, which makes it virtually impossible for us to ever be able to exist in healthy relationships, or for us to be able to manifest from a place of positivity. So we are the ones that end up suffering as a result of it. Because we can't give it a voice, because we feel like we need to hide because this thing has happened to us. We feel like we cannot speak about it because nobody want to hear me complaining about this, and nobody cares about this, that, and the other. Girl, it happened and it was fucked up. Point blank, period. Whatever it was. And even if you could have done something differently, that does not change the fact that it happened to you. You get what I'm saying? You can take responsibility for the role that you may have played in whatever happened and still not change the fact that it happened. Taking responsibility for your role does not mean accepting responsibility for the actions of others. It doesn't negate that. You get what I'm saying? And so we have to give that a voice. We have to verbalize that, even if it's only to ourselves, even if it's just writing it in our journal, doing a personal vlog, whatever it might be, but we have to give it a voice. Because when we hide it, it takes on a life of its own. It does. It takes on a life of its own because you're not putting it out into the atmosphere, and it's just growing and growing and growing inside of you until it gets to a point where it's so big that you're afraid to touch it now. You get what I'm saying? So you identify it and then you give it a voice. You acknowledge it. You accept the fact that it exists. I feel this way. I am afraid of, letting this go because I feel like that means that my feelings are insignificant. Verbalize that. If you feel like you really need to, then you verbalize that to the people who inflicted that pain on you. But it is not a requirement because you don't need nobody's permission to move on with your life. Okay? Nobody's. That is for you to decide. And there's so many decisions that you get to make in this life, which takes us to step number 3, which is to choose to release it. Okay? Once you have given it a voice, it no longer holds control over you. You now control it. You now control the circumstances surrounding how it impacts you moving forward. And you can choose. You can choose to no longer allow it to affect you in a negative way. You can choose to learn the lesson from it and apply it moving forward to reduce the likelihood that you'll ever find yourself in that position again. Get what I'm saying? You choose to release it. Choosing to release it is choosing to take back your power. And I don't know about you, but I ain't trying to give nobody or nothing no control over me no more. I'm not doing it anymore. For too long, I have allowed people and situations and circumstances to control how I move around in this life. I ain't doing that shit no more. I'm not. I refuse to allow myself to continue to drag this along with me. I refuse to allow myself to continue to live in fear, in shame, in embarrassment, in regret. I am choosing to release this. I am choosing to relieve myself of the responsibility of holding on to it. And because I choose, the fact that I choose does not minimize my experience. It does not erase my heart, my hurt. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that what I went through is insignificant. It means that I am no longer allowing it to have a negative impact on me. Okay? All right. So that is how you forgive when you really don't want to. You identify why you don't want to. What is the real reason, not the surface reason. The real reason why you don't want to. You give that a voice. You acknowledge it and process it and work through it and allow it to exist. All right? and then you choose to take back your power. All right? That's it for today's lesson. I'll see y'all tomorrow, day 3. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know what your thoughts were about today's lesson, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Be well. Bye.